Hey everybody, it's Sister Becky. Welcome back to my porch for today. You know, it's New Year's Day, and I really had to think about whether or not I was going to do a porch video today. I thought, it's New Year's, we'll just take a vacation day. But something told me, God told me, I really needed to share some news with you, or at least some thoughts. 2020 was a rough year, to say the least, on all of us. And as I was closing out the year with my daughter last night, we had a beautiful conversation that I then repeated with my mom a little bit later over the phone. And I wanted to share some thoughts with you as we start getting ready to walk through 2021. 2020 was like many of the memes that I've seen on Facebook or wherever you peruse. It was a dumpster fire. It was terrible. It was awful. And there's just no two ways around that. There were so many things that we lost out on. So many relationships we weren't able to build. So many times that we weren't able to come together. I am definitely a hugger, and I have not been able to hug any of my people. And I miss that terribly. I miss being able to fellowship and be in close contact with others. We had the economic division, we've had the racial division, we've had the just everything division. It feels like everything anybody said or did, there was two sides to take, and it was just incredibly polarized, and it was just a really tough year. And as my daughter and I were talking about this last night, as we were having this conversation about how rough a year it has been, I told her this, and I want to share this with you. Yes, a terrible year. And it's okay to lament over the things that we lost out on, the relationships that we've lost out on, the people that we have lost this year. It is totally okay to lament. But when you're done lamenting, I want you to take a minute and really think about all the positive things that have happened this year. All the good things that have happened in 2020. For starters, I have spent more time with my family than I have in a long time. I have been able to enjoy their company, even though I know there were days that we were just like, oh, we need to get away from each other. But I've been able to enjoy my family more. I recognized through the inability to meet in person on many Sundays just how extremely important our fellowship is. How extremely important our time of gathering together and worshiping corporately is. How much I have missed that terribly on those Sundays where I had to just sit and talk to my phone. I missed being able to see other people's faces. I missed being able to hear their voices in song and in word, and just how beautiful that was. So I recognize how important that is in my life. We weren't able to have all of our potluck meals, and I miss that. And I recognize how important that time of fellowship outside of corporate worship is. How much I need to be around other people, and other people need to be around me. On the same note, I think all of us recognize, and our churches took stock of all the activities that we missed out on. And were we really doing that for our community, or was that we were really doing for ourselves? It made us sit back and go, how can we still be the hands and feet of Christ when we can't be together? And yet we found a lot of ways. And if you're part of my congregation and you're watching this, I encourage you to read your January newsletter, because I list a lot of the ways that we were still able to be the hands and feet of Christ, even when we couldn't do it together. It's amazing how many doors opened and avenues opened for us to be able to uplift and encourage and be a part of our community when we could not be there in person. It has made me aware that there is still a problem, even in our small community, that we still have people that are hungry, that we still have people that are thirsting, that need clothing, and it is our responsibility to find a way to help those in need. And it's made me a little more aware of myself, of what things I took for granted. So as we begin a new calendar year, as we turn a page, and I don't make resolutions, I don't know if you do, that's fine if you do. I used to try goal setting, and I found out I wasn't very good at that either. So maybe take some time, reflect on 2020, the things that happened, the bad things that happened, but then recognize all the good things that happened. Because if nothing else, I think we learned a whole lot about ourselves and our society, and how much we can do, and how much work still needs to be done. I pray that this year, whatever you're focusing on for 2021, I pray that you include God every day, that you take time to hear from Him, to speak to Him, to learn from Him in beautiful and amazing ways. And I pray that you are blessed beyond measure. And I want you to know that I love you. But more importantly, God loves you. And I will see you again soon. Happy New Year's.